How'd you like to join us in helping alleviate traffic congestion in your community in really practical ways? My name's Andrew Cary, co-founder and CEO of SNAAP Transportation. And in this SNAAP Transportation podcast episode, we're going to talk very specifically about FIRST projects. We'll break this down into geography, use case specifics, and then how does it actually happen? So come along for the ride. So first of all, the use cases for SNAAP Transportation fall into kind of the said category of the last mile or the last 5 miles. Again, these are the areas where traffic congestion is the worst. Now, depending on where you are, I live in Florida. We have discussions in Greenville, South Carolina, Chattanooga, Tennessee, a number of places in the United States. However, let's go ahead and springboard over to Eco Vista Smart Sustainable City, Jamaica, another great opportunity to help build a new mobility ecosystem. Also, Sao Paulo, Brazil, or Rio, Brazil. The state rail there has a 200-kilometer project, 14 stations in different cities. But even in those stations, there's a gap in where people will be able to get off their train and rail and get to their destination. Or in the Middle East, whether it's in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Riyadh, or even into Europe, in Kazakhstan or Istanbul or Berlin. There's a number of use cases where SNAAP Transportation will be available to be deployed. So when we talk about a FIRST project, we want to talk about specifics, not just the geography, but where inside the mile or the last 5 miles does this apply. So we'll highlight just a few here. Transportation hubs, airports, train stations, and the transition areas between both all of those. Marinas, harbors, and ports of call, cruise ship terminals. You're letting off 5, 6, 7, 8,000 people, and taxis just can't do it. And there's a distance between port and shopping areas, shopping malls. Now, speaking of shopping malls, how about a massive shopping mall? Some of the ones in the United States, the Mall of America, and other ones are simply massive complexes. You park your car and you just go, ugh. Now, what about sports, arts, entertainment venues, college, university campuses, manufacturing plants, fulfillment centers, World Trade Centers, convention centers, and again, hospitals and rehabilitation centers. There's a million use cases for SNAAP Transportation to help alleviate traffic congestion, but also increase accessibility and mobility. So when we partner with a local entity, because SNAAP Transportation is designed for seamlessness, sustainability, scalability, and resilience in redefining urban mobility, we often can partner with the government, but because the cost is so low to build a SNAAP Transportation ecosystem, we often find ourselves partnering with commercial partners, private sector, college and university systems, ports of call and harbor and cruise ship organizations, commercial and residential developers that are building beautiful smart cities, but they still have that problem with increasing population and at the same time increasing traffic congestion. You can design SNAAP Transportation into any one of those particular use cases. And we'll highlight a couple of others because of our active work in the Middle East. The building of smart and sustainable cities, the building of massive shopping malls or convention centers and locations, or historic locations where there may need to be a situation of retrofitting. These are all examples where traffic congestion is going to continue to be impacted. The numbers alone, 1.2 billion vehicles estimated on roads today, going to 2 billion, almost doubling in 10 years, and expected to go to 3 billion by 2050. It's simply unsustainable. So all of these use cases geographically and the local use cases is really dependent on who we partner with. And by doing so, and the affordability of deploying a system, makes this a very reasonable, very accessible, affordable capital cost improvement to these various locations. Now, the way we partner locally is through a distributive business model. We call it micro-manufacturing, mini franchising, and micro-distribution. Probably a better term is a distributive ecosystem licensing. The first thing we do is make sure you understand we're here to partner with you. And I said it at the beginning, we'll say it again, and we'll say it when we meet. Our goal is to have a SNAAP transportation personal rapid transit system available to everybody in the world. The only way to do that is by leveraging local partnerships. The first thing we do is we stand up a micro-manufacturing plant of SNAAP transportation pods locally. And in doing so, we're employing locally. The building of the elevated ribbonway is fabricated locally. It is constructed locally, and it is supported locally. Again, you could have a World Trade Center, a port of call or a harbor, a cruise terminal, college university campus. SNAAP Transportation is coming in as your partner and expert in the ecosystem. We look to you to use your resources, your local talent, your assets to help grow your own system. And then ultimately, the manufacturing of the pods, the construction of the elevated ribbonway could be a first project, 1 kilometer, 2, 3, 5 kilometers long to help initial use case examples. And then the software deployment, which of course lives in the cloud, but then becomes localized to your use case. Again, this is the initial design of how SNAAP Transportation is deployed everywhere in the world. Now, finally, bringing this all together is around the first project, the first partnership, partnering and investing, no matter where you are in the world. As I just got done saying, we set up a micro-manufacturing plant locally. We build the first ribbonway locally. The software is localized to your community, your language, your vernacular, your everything that makes it local to you. The fun part is that once somebody climbs in for their first ride, that revenue, return on investment, starts to come back locally. And ultimately, we're licensing not just job creation, but we're licensing the ecosystem over to you locally. We're not coming in, building and taking. We're coming in and erecting and handing over. And again, that is the philosophy of SNAAP Transportation. It's a micro-manufacturing, mini franchising, and micro-distribution ecosystem. It's really a distributive business model that leverages the best of what you do with the organization and design of what we've built around SNAAP Transportation. So we actually invite you to join us. You can follow us across social media platforms. You can send an email to info@ridesnap, and snap is always with 2ways.com, and join us in helping bring SNAAP Transportation to the global marketplace.